So
don't be awkward. Just talk.
this always happens. I always sit in front of my camera for like 30 minutes just waiting to start. Like, hello guys, it's Sammy. And today we're gonna do something a little different. Go ahead, go and pour yourself a glass of wine. This isn't wine, this is just like a mysterious looking liquid. I don't drink wine, I don't drink alcohol actually. Go and get yourself a snack. I'll wait. So I don't know, I was just in the mood to talk because I naturally just talk a lot, sometimes too much. So I was like, why not do it and stare into this big black circle? So I put a little ask me a question thing on my Instagram story, and I got quite a few like topics and questions about New York City and college life, my opinion on things. So we're just gonna talk about all of these things that you guys sent me. Oh, do you follow me on Instagram? Because you might as well go follow me. Are you subscribed? Okay, one of the first responses I got. Your BF is mine and you can't anything about it. You can't anything about it. Please fix your grammar, sir. Is NYC life expensive? Hell yes. I'm about to go take my clothes to the laundromat tonight actually, and just like 2 weeks of clothes is probably gonna be like $35. The usual typical meal is like $13 to $16. Even if you go and get like a bagel and an iced matcha or something, just regular on the go, it's gonna cost like $12-ish. But the minimum wage here is $15. So it kind of makes sense, but I'm sure when you do like that kind of economic comparison math, I'm sure it also doesn't make sense, and I'm sure that everything is overpriced. Would you rather have 3 eyes or 3 ears? Okay, let's weigh the pros and cons. So I feel like if I had 3 eyes, it would be cool because my life would feel even more like a movie and I would just be able to see things more clearly. And it depends, where is the 3rd eye? Would I have like a 360 view? But if you have 3 ears, you get to have a bunch of earrings on. I think having 3 eyes sounds a little bit more convincing, that 360 vision. When I'm dancing, never bumping into anyone. What color Teletubby would you be and why? I don't really know much about Teletubbies. I remember I always thought they were really scary when I was little, but I would say that my color is red, if that's not obvious already. Favorite song? I don't think I have a favorite song right now, but I know that I'm obsessed with listening to Ariana Grande. I've just been looking her up and like pressing artist and just shuffling everything by her. It just gets me in the mood. Like before this, I was putting some makeup on and I was listening to her and it just like gets me in that little confident mood. What's an NYC thing you haven't done yet but want to do? Okay, I really want to go to this really tall skyscraper building. I think it's called like the Edge NYC, and it has a big balcony. It's not called a balcony. This clear thing that goes off of the edge of the building, and it's really high up, like you're basically touching the clouds, and it's all glass. I know I would basically almost have a panic attack because I'm kind of scared of heights. Mostly scared of clear railings, not of heights, but it's very complex. But I think it'd be a fun thing to do like with friends or family when they come for my graduation. Favorite body part on yourself and on Manuel, my boyfriend? I think on myself, I think I like my teeth. I've always taken a lot of care of my teeth since I was little. Ever since I basically realized that I have big teeth, I've tried to take care of them because I'm like, they're big and they're on my face, so naturally you look at them. On Manuel, I think my favorite would be his eyes. I've always said that my favorite color is green because his eyes are green. So romantic, but yes, I love his eyes. Fave Marvel superhero? Spider-Man, because every single actor who has played Spider-Man is so beautiful. Every single one of them. And like Spider-Man just has super nerdy, cute vibes. Manuel didn't agree with me that Spider-Man has nerdy vibes, but I think he's nerdy. I mean, especially the way that Tom Holland plays the character. I've always thought that Spider-Man gave off the nerdy vibe, and nerds are my type, so. By the way, speaking of Marvel, are you guys watching WandaVision on Disney Plus? It's so good. It's honestly mind-blowing. Like every single episode is so good. It takes a while for you to understand what's going on. You don't really understand the first 3 episodes when you're watching them. At least I didn't. And then on the 4th episode, I was like, what is going on. It was like a Marvel version of Black Mirror. What kind of dog do I want? I really want a corgi. I was saying this the other day. I think a corgi with a weenie dog mixed. That would be so cute. Right now at home, I have 2 Yorkies and I love Yorkies. I would definitely want to stick with like a smaller or medium dog, but I've been seeing so many corgis being walked in the city. Their little hips moving when they walk. Where do I see myself in 32 years? When I'm 51? Okay. 21. When I am 53 years old. I don't know if I would necessarily live in the city when I'm 53. When I see people walking slow, like it kind of frustrates me. I feel so bad saying that. Plus, I don't think I want to be so fast-paced when I'm at age 53. So, I have no idea where I would live, but I know I'll be with Manuel. I definitely want to feel fulfillment, and I want to feel like I've gotten to work or accomplish things in different mediums of art. Especially if I'm working in the arts, I don't know if I would retire because I want to be creating stuff and I want to have an input in the art world for the rest of my life. So maybe I can be working like on films and I can be on set, kind of like a creative director, or working on music videos, definitely choreographing. I don't even know where I'm gonna live in 5 years. What is your dream choreography job? Okay, I definitely would love to be in charge of a music artist's concert, like being the creative director, the projection artist, and choreographer all at once, just controlling the whole thing. Because I feel like I have a vision, just my mind, like it's all in here. I would love to work with upcoming artists that are similar to like Ariana Grande, Lady Gaga vibe. I'd also really love to choreograph for a movie, like a big dance on camera job that is like a bunch of people working with different camera angles. I'd love to do that too. What is your favorite ice cream flavor? Pistachio. The one from Van Leeuwen's.
It's top tier. It's so good.
Favorite time of the year? Not summer, because I'm a really sweaty person. Not winter in New York, no. It's hard to choose because I love fall and spring fashion. Specifically because, I mean, when it gets to spring, I'm tired of wearing a bunch of layers. I always look like a crazy Texan who doesn't know how to dress for winter. So once I get into spring, I'm super excited to wear dresses. That's how I'm feeling right now. I think I'm gonna say fall because I love pumpkin flavored things when the leaves start to turn orange here. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with fall, but what is your favorite time of the year? Oh, I just realized it says favorite time of the year, not necessarily favorite season. October, November during fall because I love Halloween and my birthday's in November, Sagittarius season. Favorite thing to do in NYC? Definitely going out to get food. The other day, Asia and I went to this place called Ali Mama in Chinatown. I saw it on TikTok. It's a mochi donut place. They also have like cream puffs that have boba tapioca bubbles inside. And when you pull them apart, it has that mochi texture. It's kind of like edible bubblegum, but in donut form. I don't know if it's just because I'm hungry right now, but I think one of my favorite things to do is just going out and trying new places to eat. College recommendations in New York. It definitely depends what you're going for. If you're going for something in the arts, it's pretty standard, I guess. There's NYU and Juilliard, Pace. There's Fordham. I don't know about the arts department in Fordham. I know that the dance department, Alvin Ailey, is obviously amazing. But I know that Fordham is a really good school and it's hard to get into academically. If you're looking into colleges in New York City, you should definitely look at where they're located and maybe what people have done after they've graduated from that school, from the major that you're trying to get into. And I would say just watch YouTube videos about students' experiences. That's what always helped me, give me a little bit more insight about Tish. How do you... Oh my god. Almost choked looking at this question. How do you feel that you are now gonna graduate and actually start on your own? What a good question. How do I feel?
Run.
I'm excited. I've been trying to like articulate this for like 5 minutes now. I cut it out so you didn't see it. But I don't know exactly how to put it into words. I'm also just really bummed out that I'm not gonna have an in-person graduation, and a lot of the excitement about going to NYU is graduating in Yankee Stadium and Radio City Music Hall for our Tisch graduation. A lot of the exciting part is kind of being taken away. Our final show in the theater, there doesn't get to be as many people. Only people affiliated with NYU are able to go. In terms of like post-graduation, I can make a video about that once I have a little bit more clarity. Steering away from that topic, would you rather be able to talk to animals or read men's thoughts? Okay, this is my favorite response that I got. Thank you, McKenna. I think reading men's thoughts would be dangerous. As I've mentioned in many of my other videos, there are creepy men's in every corner of the streets and the sidewalks of New York. It depends if I would be able to choose when to read men's thoughts, or if it was just constantly like men's thoughts around me were just going into my ears constantly. I guess it just depends. I don't know if I would necessarily be interested in knowing what they're thinking. Only Manuel, but I already know what Manuel's thinking. And talking to animals, it just has so many pros to that. Like, who wouldn't want to speak to animals? So yeah, that's my answer. I would love to talk to my 2 dogs at home. Is it just me, or when you drink, do you feel it in your thighs first? Please tell me if this is you, please. Because I've had like one person agree with me on this. Every single time, especially with wine. If you could only live in one place and never leave, where would it be? I would stay here where I am. I love New York City and I wouldn't trade it for any other place, honestly. I know I said I wouldn't live in the city when I'm 53, but if I had to choose one place to live, I would live here because this is where it's at for the arts. Okay, 2 people said relationship advice. Context, so you can know that this advice is trustworthy. I've been with Manuel for 5 years and it's about to be like 5 months. I love how I'm acting like I don't count every second and every day and every hour. And we've been dating since we were 15. And so we've grown together so much. Think about the last 5 years. Like, how much have you changed? We've been in 2 completely different environments together. In high school, where we grew up, and now here in New York City in college. We've been through a lot together. And so I think my main tip would be to have super good communication. I sound so basic, but it's the truth. I have found that the worst thing to do is to let little things build up. So even in an instance where there is something so small that bothers me, I just tell him. At the end of the day, I'm like, hey, this made me feel kind of uncomfortable. I saw you do this and it made me feel weird. And he'll do the same thing with me. Because if you let things build up, then one day you're just gonna explode about something random. And it's not even gonna be what you're saying it's about. It's gonna be about all of these other things that have built up over time, and you can't even explain why you're so annoyed with them or so mad. So it's about constant communication, and not only about negative things, but also just about things that you really like that the other person does for you, and making sure that they know and that they feel appreciated, because that's literally the reason why Manuel and I don't really get into fights or big arguments. Always say what's on your mind, even if it's so minor, because sometimes when you say it out loud too, you realize that it's not even that dramatic. Okay, next, work-life balance. Well, right now I'll say school-life balance, because I just have like a work study, but it's not super time consuming. Well, I always make sure that I set aside time to have some me time. For everyone, that's gonna look super different, but for me, that's literally just making myself a good, enjoyable meal and watching like a YouTube video, or randomly watching like a Netflix movie, even if I watch that in parts, or even if I'm watching that as I'm getting ready or putting makeup on or something. Also, just making sure that all the time that I have off is almost just me romanticizing my life. And this goes into a lot of aspects of my life, but something that really keeps me grounded whenever I feel like school is taking over my whole life, or like I have too many things on my agenda, like the way I do right now, I practice being grateful. If you're grateful for the things in your life, you're gonna find that you're just naturally happier and that you take advantage of time off from school or from work more naturally. Some of my favorite New York college memories, definitely whenever I'm with a group of friends and it's like 2 a.m. and we get some 99-cent pizza. That's always the best. Or just like when you're walking around the city and it's kind of empty but you don't feel unsafe because you're with a group of people. There's been times where we've gone to walk the Brooklyn Bridge spontaneously, like at 1 in the morning. Or we go out and get a snack like at a deli, and it's a whole adventure even if we just walk like a block. Okay, 2 people asked me this. My ideal wedding. This is something that I think about a lot, not to make people think like that's happening soon, because I'm definitely unemployed. It's going to be in Mexico. It should be in some kind of more traditional, like villagey area, San Miguel or Guanajuato, someplace where it's traditional for us to have like a 3-day celebration and a callejoneada before the wedding, because Manuel and I went to my cousin's wedding in Guanajuato and she had a callejoneada and a bunch of other like traditional celebrations, and it was so fun. And I think also just because that was like the first wedding that Manuel and I went to together, I think we just kind of got attached to that idea. Obviously it's gonna be lit and there's gonna be tacos, and I want it to be like an outdoor theme with a lot of flowers and twinkly lights, and I wanted to have a very vintage vibe. My dress has to be like a vintagey design. It doesn't have to be vintage because that's probably gonna be so expensive. Vintage is just more my style. Okay, something like these but in white ish. Every time I watch Say Yes to the Dress, none of the dresses satisfy me. I don't like any of them. And obviously I don't have them on, but I'm just like, no. It's very specific. Artsy, vintage, unique. If I could show my shoes, that would be super cool. All in all, just very romantic, vintage, glam. Okay, that is all the questions and topics that I got. Let me know just like your random thoughts in the comments. Tell me what you thought of this video. Tell me what your ideal wedding is. Okay, thank you so much for watching this. Make sure you're subscribed and go check out my other videos because they are equally, if not more interesting. Okay, bye!